This is our menu for today. I will be slow cooking the barbecue chicken and the baked potatoes in crock pots. Okay, this morning I am making breakfast casserole. The first thing I do is I'm going to spray. I've got like a 9-inch deep dish pie pan, and I'm going to spray it with kitchen spray first. Sweet Hawaiian rolls because I feel like that will taste really good, so we're just going to try it out this morning. And there I have added my cubed sweet Hawaiian rolls. And now I will crack 5 eggs and mix them with maybe about 1.25 cups of milk. And I am just going to break the yolks and whisk these all together. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And I have about 1 cup of mild shredded cheddar cheese. I'm just going to whisk that in the mix as well. Okay, now I am going to add in cut up pieces of, y'all know that I love me some pre-cooked bacon. This is why I like pre-cooked bacon, because I can tear off the little fat pieces. I don't like having chewy pieces of fat in my breakfast casserole, or really in much of anything. Some people, that's their bag, but it isn't mine, so I like to pull this little piece off. Okay, and I cubed up about 3/4 cup of the pre-cooked bacon, and I'm just going to pour it into my little egg mixture. And I'm going to whisk it together. Now I'm going to pour my mixture over my bread. And I smash little bread chunks down because I want them to get saturated with the liquid. And I'm going to let this sit for about maybe 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes before I put it in the oven so it can get real good and soaked. Most people prepare this overnight. I don't like to do that. So that's just what I'm doing. Now for my son, he is getting bacon and then eggs fried like papa and toast because he is my picky eater and he doesn't eat all the stuff that we make. So this is his breakfast. Okay, the bread is pretty much all soaked up, so I'm going to put this in the oven. Okay, now I am going to start mixing my ingredients for the garlic toast tonight. I'm making focaccia bread, and it's important when you put these ingredients in your bread pan. I use my bread machine. I have a Cuisinart and I have a bread pan, but I'm only using the Cuisinart right now. But you put your wet ingredients in first in the order that they are on the recipe, and I'll link the recipe in the description box below. But I have a cup of warm water. It's important that you do warm water because it kind of activates the yeast. So I'm putting my water in first. Then I have a 1/3 cup of olive oil. That goes in. I have 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1 teaspoon of salt. I use the kosher salt for all of my bread. Okay. And then now we start with the dry ingredients. So I have 3 cups of bread flour. Okay, after you get your bread flour in, you're going to want to make a little well, and that is for the yeast. And I have 1 teaspoon of fast-acting yeast. And this is the yeast that I'm using today. I got it at Aldi. I have a bunch of these packets, And then I also have 3 of the big blocks, so I'm trying to use all these packets up. And I have my bucket of mixture set in and locked in, and I'm just going to close the lid, and then I'm going to come up here and do my programming. And I just want dough, I don't want a loaf. So I'm just going to change the menu to number 10, and then I hit start. Now I'm also going to put, when it gives me the option, it'll beep when you put mix-ins. I'm going to put a little bit of shredded cheese in this mixture, so we're just going to get the dough started. Now it's important, after about 5 minutes, you're going to want to come back in here and scrape the sides, and I'll show you what I do with that in just a minute. I did forget to tell you that I have my oven set on 405, and I'm baking the breakfast casserole for about 35-40 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and I'm just going to take a little spreader and get the sides. It also kind of helps you check the texture, because not always does it kind of set like you want it to, and you might need to add a little bit of water. I think I might add just a little bit more water. I have about 1/4 cup of water here, but I probably won't use it all. I might use about 1/8 of it, just enough to get those little pieces to kind of pick up. And I think about 1/8 of it'll do. And I'll take my little scooper and I scoop it around. That should take care of it. And now it's time to wash these up while I wait for the casserole to bake. Okay, it's beeping to let me know I need to put any add-ins in right now, so I'm going to go ahead and put my cheddar cheese in. I put in about 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese. And the casserole is done, and it looks delicious. Now I'm going to let this sit for about 5-10 minutes to kind of cool down before I cut it, so it can settle a little bit. Now while I'm at work, I'm going to put the baked potatoes in my crock pot on low and let it slow cook all day. Now for my chicken breast, y'all know I love me some garlic pepper, so I'm seasoning it with garlic pepper first. Now I'm mixing 2 different kinds of barbecue sauce. I'm going to put the slow simmered sweet honey from Kraft on there first. And next I am going to put Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce on. And then I'm just going to kind of spread it and make sure it gets under here. Get all those pieces lathered up. And I'm going to slow cook this on low all day while I'm at work. So it was a really, really good decision to use the Hawaiian rolls in that breakfast casserole. Y'all, it was delicious. And now I'm just going to sit here and read the Bible before I go to work. I'm waiting on the rest of the dough to kind of do its little thing. So I'm just going to read. Okay, my dough is finally done. So I am going to spray the inside of the bowl and put some plastic wrap over it and put it in the refrigerator for tonight. I just got home from work, and this is the dough that I made this morning. It has cheese in it, and I was gonna do garlic bread, but I think what I'm gonna do is just shape these into rolls and do garlic cheddar cheese rolls. I think that'll just be easier and cook faster. I've got the chicken. Whew, froggy doggy. Chicken's ready. So now I'm going to just shape these. I have my pan covered with my parchment paper. I'm going to shape these and bake these, and I'll be right back. Okay, I sprayed my parchment paper with cooking spray. I did just my coconut oil cooking spray. And now I'm baking them, probably for about 35 to 40 minutes on 375. Okay, so while the bread is in there cooking, I kind of wanted to show you guys my newest project, okay? I'm trying to do a raised garden, and I'm almost 100% certain that I'm doing it wrong, but I'm getting some growth. So let me show you what I've got. In this one, I have my squash and zucchini, and I'm almost certain that they might merge together and make like a squash zini. So I don't know, but I will keep you posted. But look at the little guys, they're growing. I'm not really sure how it grows, but you know, it's all experimental. It's homestead Steffi, homestead and dirty style. There's a cheat, I'll take it. And this is my potatoes now. I planted whole potatoes that had like the little heads on them, you know. And look, I'm getting some growth. I'm so excited, so excited. But you know, your girl over here's trying. We're trying. Next step is to get me a couple of goats so I can have those in city limits. I sure can. All right, so I just pulled my little cheddar rolls out of the oven. This is like a focaccia style bread. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That's just how Stephanie sees it and says it. So there you go. And I am going to put on some garlic butter. This little garlic butter's got some seasoning in it too. That's what we're going to do tonight with this here bread. And I have a feeling it's going to be delicious. And we have slow cooked barbecue chicken breast, baked potatoes, salad, and a roll. Y'all, I'm going to be making no bake cookies. What I need is I've got 1.5 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats, 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of milk, 1/8 cup of cocoa powder, and 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And then I will also do 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, I also forgot to tell you that I put in 4 tablespoons of butter. It calls for unsalted butter, but I didn't have any, so you use what you got. And you bring it to a boil. It does call for a large pinch of kosher salt, but because I have salt in my butter, I will not be adding the kosher salt. These guys are super finicky. Like if you make one mistake, they won't set. So hopefully we'll see if I did it correctly. But once this goes to a boil, you let it boil for 1 minute. 1 minute exactly. Do not deviate from the recipe or the time. And then you will add your peanut butter and your oats and your vanilla extract. So I'm just going to keep stirring this, letting it melt down, and then I'll let it get to a boil. Okay, I've got my peanut butter, my vanilla extract, and my oats in here. Now I'm just going to kind of fold them in. I just took a spoon and kind of just dolloped the mixture on a cooking sheet with parchment paper. Now we cross our fingers and hope they set up. And hope that I didn't mess up the mixture in any way. Guys, I am super, super pleased to announce I made them correctly and they stayed together. Now I'm going to enjoy them.